Podcast 69 South, where we cuss and discuss true crime, cold cases, current events, and hot topics, along with our state of society today. This is your trigger warning. Our podcast content is produced for adult listeners 18 years of age and older. We discuss situations that may be offensive and triggering to some listeners. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome to episode 2 of Podcast 69 South. Today we're going to be discussing the case of Ellen Greenberg. She was born in New York City, New York, June 23rd, 1983.
Her parents were Joshua Greenberg, a periodontist, and her mother, Sandy Greenberg, was a dental assistant. She was the only child and grew up in the city until she reached middle school. Her and her family relocated to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where she finished high school, then attended Penn State University, majoring in communications, graduating with a bachelor's degree, then going to Temple University to get her master's degree in education. She was a first grade teacher at Juanita Park Academy, an elementary school in the Pittsburgh area.
We're covering this case because it has just exploded lately in the media. It's very intriguing to us, and we're trying to help get to the bottom of the answers of what's going on in this case.
Can you imagine being stabbed 20 times and then ruling it a suicide?
No, and I think by the end of this case, our listeners will see the epitome of
corruption, dirty cops, and lawyers and judges, and Philadelphia is full of corruption.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for Ellen Greenberg's parents, this case would probably be swept under the rug, like a lot of them that we don't know about.
Nobody would even be talking about it today if it wasn't for her parents.
This case is 13 years old.
Yeah.
On January 26, 2011, it was a Wednesday, she went to work, like Julie said, as a first grade teacher at Juanita Park Academy. That's an elementary school there. And it was just a normal day. On the way home, she got sent home for a nor'easter storm, a big snowstorm blanketing the city. She stopped and got gas on her way home. She got home to her fiance, and home was
Venice Park Apartments.
A loft apartments.
Oh, my bad, Venice Loft.
And they were she lived on the 6th floor. She got home around 1:30, and her fiance, Sam Goldberg, was there. Now, we're not sure the events that happened between 1:30 and 4:30, 4:45, but we do know it between 4:30 and 4:45, Sam Goldberg goes down to the gym to work out. Now, the gym is located in
the building.
It's in building, yes.
And he only goes down there for a 30-minute workout. Who goes in? I don't know. I don't work out, so I don't know.
Well, if you're planning to go work out, you'd think it would be more than 30 minutes.
Minimum of an hour.
Right. Also, he was reportedly wearing Timberland hiking boots.
To go work out in the gym?
That's kind of odd. So when he returns, around 30 minutes later, he runs his key fob through the door, goes to open the door, and finds the door locked from a slide latch lock from the inside.
Like a hotel lock.
We've all seen these locks. You kind of flip the little latch around and then the door can open, but it latches with the little slide lock on it.
So he's standing out there beating on the door. Well, he can crack it open, and it's open about 3 to 5 inches?
I think they said 3 inches maximum.
So he can yell and scream. You can hear what's going on in the apartment. I'm sure if it's open. You got a gap. You can hear if somebody's or carrying on.
Right, and he's yelling through the crack. He's texting her. He's emailing her, and the text and emails. It's not like, "Hey babe, what's going on? Hey babe, are you okay? Can you unlock the door?" The text message and emails. Hello. Open the door. What are you doing? I'm getting pissed. You better have a good excuse. What the fuck? You have no idea. It sounds like he's insinuating that she's doing something wrong.
Or doing it on purpose.
So Sam Goldberg goes down and finds a maintenance man. The maintenance people had left for the day, so he reportedly goes to the doorman for help. The doorman, he says to use his shoulder to break down the door, but he reports to police that the doorman was there when he broke the door down.
And we've seen news reports that the doorman didn't go up there with him and help him.
Yeah, we've seen interviews that says basically that Sam Goldberg was lying. That he said Sam Goldberg knows that I didn't go up there with him. That's
So
his
finally, it's like an hour and 15 minutes he's supposedly trying to get in that door. Well, he finally breaks down the door.
And he finds a gruesome scene.
And he calls 911. And we are going to let you listen to this 911 call because we want to know what you think. So
There's a lot of things about this 911 call that really
piss me off.
Cuts me right to the bone. I mean, to me, it's obvious. It's a lot of weird shit on this 911 call. It seems fake. It seems scripted. It seems like it's scripted, but it seemed like the dude wasn't smart enough to think it through before he, fake scripted it.
Yeah.
Let's listen to that 911 call.
I just walked into my apartment. My fiance's on the floor with blood everywhere.
What is the address?
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please come help now.
4601
Flat Rock Road.
Is this a house or apartment?
Oh no! Oh no! It's an apartment.
What apartment number?
603.
Apartment 603.
603. Please hurry, please.
Where is she bleeding from?
I don't know. I can't tell.
No. Sir, you have to calm yourself down in order to get you some help.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm looking at her right now. I can't see anything. There's nothing broken. She's bleeding. Ellie.
You don't know where she's bleeding from? Can't see where the blood's coming from?
I think her head. I think she hit her head, I think. But it's everywhere.
Okay, so
it's everywhere.
She might have fallen. Do you know what happened?
She may have slipped. There's blood on the table. Her face is a little purple.
Okay, hold on for rescue for her. Stay on the phone.
Okay, he says she may have slipped. There's blood on the table. I mean, was she walking on the table? Is that where she slipped from?
I don't know. That's weird. But I'll tell you one thing that sticks out to me is he's seemingly frantic. Oh no. And
then he's cool.
Yeah, and then the lady's like, calm down so we can get you some help. And he's like, oh yeah, my fault. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Now, this part that we just played is the initial connect to 911. And then she says, hold on, let me transfer you to rescue. So this next part that we're getting ready to listen to is the rescue call. But yeah, I found it very weird that he's like, oh, she slipped, or she may have slipped. But whenever he's first talking to that lady, he's like, I'm looking at her right now. I can't see anything. She doesn't. There's nothing broken. She's bleed, and like keeps going back and forth, but it's always she, and he don't see anything.
Right. And keep in mind, folks, that he's walking in finding his fiance. He's finding his fiance dead, face is purple. And keep in mind all this when you're listening to the second part of this 911 call, and then we'll get into a little bit more of what's going on, because just listen real close and put yourself in a mindset of what you think you would be feeling like if you walked into this scene, and the most important things that you would be talking about to the 911 caller, okay?
Fire Department 842, what's the address? No,
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please hurry.
4601 Flat Rock?
Yes.
What's wrong?
I went downstairs to go work out. I came back up. The door was latched. My fiance's inside. She wasn't answering. So after about a half hour, I decided to break it down. I see her now just on the floor with blood. Like she's not responding.
Okay, is she breathing? Look at her chest. I need you to calm down, and I need you to look at her chest. It's really.
I really don't think she is.
Listen to me. Someone's on the way. Look at her chest. Is she flat on her back?
She's on her back. So
Okay, look at her chest and tell me if it's going up and down, up and down.
I don't see her moving.
Okay.
See, that part to me seems very, very weird too. At first, when they're connecting to the EMS and the police part of the 911 call, it seems to me like he's already established and trying to establish an alibi. First things first, I went down to the gym to work out, so I wasn't here. I was at the gym working out, and I came back up, and the door was locked. It's like, that's not the important thing that's going on here. The important thing is you need to get the fuck here with the police and the ambulance because something's bad wrong with my fiance.
Right. And did you notice that he calls 911 at 6:30? And when he's on the phone with her, he says that he had only been trying to get in the apartment for 30 minutes, and it had been an hour and 15 minutes because he came back initially at 5:15 and was trying to get in the door. It's now 6:30, so that I just thought that was weird.
Also, people, listen up to where the 911 caller is saying, look at her chest. She says, look at her chest 3 times that I counted. So what is the dude sitting there looking at? I mean, he's acting like he's looking at her chest to see if she's breathing. And then I want you to listen to the rest of this 911 call, and you'll see why that is significant.
Hey, do you know how to do CPR?
I don't.
Okay, I can tell you what to do, okay, until they get there. I want you to keep her foot
Oh,
on her...
God.
Hello?
Yeah, hi,
Are
okay.
you willing to do CPR with me over the phone until they get there?
I have to, right?
Okay, so get her flat on her back, bare her chest, okay? You want to rip her shirt off,
Shit.
okay? Kneel down by her side.
Oh, my God. Allie, please.
Listen, you can't freak out, sir, because you gotta...
Okay, I'm trying not to. Her shirt won't come off. It's a zipper.
Rip
Oh,
it
my
off.
God. She stabbed herself.
Oh, she stabbed herself. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my God. Now, first of all, people, that's what we was talking about. You heard the 911 caller tell him to look at her chest 3, maybe 4 times.
It took him 15 seconds from the time that she told him to bare her chest, 15 seconds to kneel down beside her and magically find the knife that's sticking out of her chest. Are you kidding me?
I mean, to me, if this wasn't such a serious case, this 911 call is almost comical. And that's sad to say.
Oh, she stabbed herself.
Oh, my God.
Why would that be your first impression? That she's killing herself? I mean, you wouldn't think that I killed myself if you walked in the house and found me like that.
I mean, it's, oh my God. That's terrible. That is terrible to even laugh at, but it's so comical. And another thing, do you know how to do CPR? Are you willing to do CPR on her while you're on the phone with me? Oh, I guess I have to. I mean, I'd be like, fuck yeah, tell me, let's do it. Let's get this shit going. You would have seen the knife first off, people. You're looking at your fiance on the floor and you're going to see a knife sticking out, period. I think he was just procrastinating and trying to act like it was a big surprise.
I know we're not there on the 911 call. It's the next sentence, but I got to talk about it. If you listen, he says her knife is sticking out. What's she do? Does she walk around carrying a knife? Like, why is it her knife? Why is everything her fault right now? That's weird to me. Pisses me off.
And to go along with him trying to establish the alibi first thing in the call, I was at the gym working out, and then her knife, and it's all about me and not her, but it's
that 5 or 6 seconds of him stating his alibi, where he was at and what he was doing, that could have been 5 or 6 seconds that rescue could have been on the way to save her life. Absolutely. Hell with what you were doing. Your emergency is your old lady's unconscious with blood all over the floor. That's my problem. It don't matter where I was at right now. I'll tell the police that later. Come on.
Absolutely. Let's listen to the rest of this.
Yes, sir.
Where?
She fell in a knife. Oh, no, her knife's sticking out.
What?
There's a knife sticking out of her heart.
Oh, she stabbed herself?
I guess so. I don't know where she fell on it. I don't know.
Okay, well, don't touch it.
Okay, so I just let her down. Here now? I mean, what do I do?
No, I mean, you can't. If the knife is in her chest, it's going to be kind of hard for you to do CPR at this time.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Police, which operator? 277.
Is someone coming here?
Yes, they are. You said 4601 Flat Rock, right?
Yes.
Okay, someone's on the way. And the knife is still inside?
Wait, so what?
The knife is still inside of her?
Yes, I didn't take it out.
Is it her chest or what area?
It's in her chest. It looks like it's It looks like it's right in her heart.
Okay, someone's on the way out there. Okay, just get.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
How old is she?
She's 27.
27. And there's no sign of life at all? I've been turned to her arm.
No, please don't be. What?
Been turned to her arm and tell me she responds to pain.
She's Ellie. She's not. Her arm and her hands are still warm. I don't know if that means, but there's blood everywhere. I mean,
I know, but you can't, and the knife is still inside of her. How far? Can you see how far it went in?
it looks pretty deep.
Okay.
It looks it's a long knife.
Don't touch anything. Yeah, don't touch anything, okay?
I'm not touching anything. I can't believe this.
So wait, it was just you there with her?
Did you hear the operator ask, can you see how far it went in? It looks deep. It looks...
And then he says,
3.
You can hear him say 3, which was very odd, folks, because the blade of this knife is about 3 inches long.
Yeah, he was going to say 3 inches, and he caught himself.
And you can hear him stop himself right there.
How would, if you weren't there, if you were at the gym, how you know how long her knife is that's inside her heart? How would you know that?
To me, it seems like he already knows she's gone. He already knows she's dead, because I think he was been there and did it before he went to the gym. But we'll get into that later.
And I don't want to get no confirmation bias here. And I know that we're coming off strong, thinking he had something to do with it, but we could be wrong. We're digging into this investigation, and we're just following the leads.
Basic instinct and common sense is what I call it.
Yes.
Let's listen to the rest of this 911 call, and then we'll get in to talk about her injuries.
We're the only ones here.
And she ran in the door, you said latched it shut?
No, I went downstairs to work out, and when I came back up, the door was latched.
Oh.
Like it was, it wasn't like it was like locked from the inside, and I'm yelling. So I'm
was your house
yelling and
broken into?
No.
So there's no sign of a break-in?
No sign of a break-in at all. I mean, there will be when you get here because I had to break the latch, but to get in.
Okay, 4601 Flat Rock, and this is a house, right?
It's an apartment. Flat Rock, apartment 603.
Okay, that'll help. Apartment 603.
Oh my God. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
This dude's going from one extreme to the next. 1 second he's calm as a cucumber, the next he's fake freaking out in my ears.
Was the house broken into? He says, no, 5 times. How do you know? You weren't there. How do you know the house wasn't broken into?
He wants to make sure that they know that she was there by herself. No way it could have been broke into. He's already trying to establish that it was a suicide. And let's get into her injuries, people, and see what you think about this suicide.
One thing that I just noticed, I wanted to say this. The operator says there's no sign of a break-in. And he says, no sign of a break-in at all. I mean, there will be when you get here, though.
By the time you get here,
I had to break the door, the latch, because it was locked from the inside.
We're going to post pictures of this so-called broken latch, too, on our Facebook page so you can take a look at it. I looked at it, and I've seen many of these latches, and if you were to break one of these latches, one side is bolted to the door frame, the other side is bolted to the door. And to break this door off, one of those sides would have to be disconnected from the other side or still latched.
That's expert opinion. You could give that expert opinion because you've installed hundreds of them, I'm sure.
I've installed several doors. Yes, ma'am, I have. Another thing is if you look at the screw threads. Now, I've seen several screw threads and latches and doors kicked in. May have kicked a few in myself in my day. But there's always drywall residue or there's some kind of wood residue on the threads of the screws. And if you look at these screws real close, you can zoom in on them. There's no residue on the screw threads at all. To me, it looks like they were unscrewed, took apart. The door was opened, or, I think it was the screws were took out. It was pulled apart, and then
it was pulled from the inside. Is
right.
What
That's
I
exactly
feel like.
what it looks like to me.
So the police investigation, they treated it as a suicide from the gate. With Sam's statements and quote unquote cooperation, the lack of evidence of an intruder, and police find that the latch was locked from within and Ellen had no defensive wounds. The police pretty much said, yeah, open and shut case. This is a suicide. But no one knew the extent of her injuries until the next morning of the autopsy.
The injuries to Ellen Greenberg were horrific. She had 10 stab wounds to the back of her neck, 8 on her chest, 1 in the abdomen, and 1 to her scalp. And the one on her scalp, it almost looks like a slash or like something from a blunt object, but I'm not a medical examiner.
It almost looks like she got cracked with a meat cleaver on the top of her head.
Along with the stab wound, she had 11 bruises in different stages of healing on her arm, her abdomen, and her leg. Now, when you say no signs of a struggle, I mean, so they found the extent of these stab wounds the next day from the medical examiner.
Yeah, and the medical examiner, Dr. Osborne, initially said homicide, but police tell him to classify that as pending until their investigation is concluded. So the medical examiner does that.
10 stab wounds to the back of your neck. To me, that seems like a little bit of a struggle, or, maybe not quote unquote defensive wounds. So then February 28th, the police conclude their investigation and they determine that suicide is the cause of death. Osborne changes the manner of death to a suicide.
And on April 4th, 2011, that's when they made their findings public. The police had announced that Ellen Greenberg's death was a suicide. And I just want to say that her parents never knew that Dr. Osborne had initially thought homicide. They had no idea about anything because nobody called them at all. Not even the police. The police didn't even call the next of kin to let her parents know that she was deceased. Sam's father is the one, and he didn't even tell him that she died. He told him that she was hurt bad.
So to recap all this real quick, everything's seemingly normal. She had also made a phone call to her mother that morning. Everything seemed normal to her. She had sent an email to one of her friends, I think a few minutes before he had come in and discovered her. He goes to the gym, 30 minutes, comes up, busts the door down, finds his fiance seemingly lifeless on the floor, horrific injuries everywhere, calls the police. Then you hear the screwy 911 call, and then they determine it after some weird shit goes on to a suicide.
Yes, and her parents are just they're not gonna lay down and accept that. And they have been fighting for justice for 13 years. This case has made its way all the way to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, where they are trying to get Ellen's manner of death changed so that this case can be investigated properly. So tune in next week as we dig into this case to find some real answers. And
we're also going to discuss the findings of the police when it comes to Ellen's search history on the computer and the phone calls that Sam allegedly made in those minutes before he called 911. And guess what? There was people who showed up to the crime scene before police and EMS actually showed up. So we will get into that next week. Until then.